Good morning, great morning. What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. Glad to have you all here together this morning as we're going to take a look here at the markets and continue to make sure we stay on the right side of these trends. We're going to be looking really strongly at FX this morning, looking for what set of waves are coming in here. Let's see if we have anything on the horizon that we could really take advantage of in this upcoming week ahead. Obviously, we're going to be looking at the dollar, gold, silver. We're going to start with the S&P 500, move over to the Nasdaq and Dow. Take a look then at the Dow, gold, at the DXY, the US dollar index, gold, silver, and then Bitcoin. Bitcoin getting close to breaking out to the upside of that blue box. We'll see. It hasn't done it yet. It's coming into resistance. We'll see if it could do it right now. Maybe it does it right here while we're on this session. I really enjoyed sending out that update yesterday. I felt it was very, very important. Let's take a look at what we have going on over here. People are wondering if it's time to attack. Right? Let's just take a look at what's going on. You should be able to see all this for yourself. That's why we did the weekend video. Let's take a look at it right now. We see the S&P 500 so far holding. By the way, did anyone hear? China injected, what was it? Hold on, maybe I have it right here. $500 billion yesterday. A new monthly credit. I think that's why gold is bid today. And gold, you could see, up almost 1%, challenging last week's high, or maybe it does this session at 1965. Gold and silver a bid. Dollars off big time. Let's take our time here. Let's get into it. That's right, Greg. Good morning. Let me go put this up like that. Good morning. Vaccine. Was it the vaccine palm? It could have been. What was it? Pfizer saying that they plan on they possibly could have a vaccine ready by October. Are you taking that? I'm not. All right, let's go. We got the S&P 500 so far holding my trend line over here, right? People are telling me that I'm wrong about my trend lines and they broke. I don't know. They look valid to me. I mean, I do know. Right? Stay on the right side of the market. Follow what we got going on over here. S&P 500 is coming into resistance so far this morning. New York is uber important, right? I love that word, uber. New York is ever so important because they are a tricky bunch. Let's see what they do with it this morning, right? But anyone looking to go long, that's the opportunity here as you're coming off of this, holding this support over here. Your risk to reward is enormously great. You know where you're wrong. Not only that, if you are wrong, you're gonna have a chance at the downside. But over here, we've bounced off of this trend line support over here overnight. We closed over here at the 33.40, 33.39 support, and are now up into that resistance. You could see also that's a little bit of horizontal resistance right there at 33.85, but that's small. Nasdaq also humming this morning. It's up 1.3%. It's a little bit off its highs. You could also see people again, here's a look at the trend lines. You can see I cloned them on the way up. And the reason I bring that to your attention is because that's where we ran into resistance this morning, into this trend line over here this morning. All right. We still continue to make lower highs on the Nasdaq. Right. I talked about in the weekend update, though, how I like the fact that we took out those stops over there. Right, we took out those stops over here and then shot up, holding that confluence of horizontal support and trendline support. So the markets so far are holding. Don't think you're out of the woods yet. It's not even close. We are still near really critical supports over here. If we lose them, we could see some selling. The most important thing on the calendar today is this week is the FOMC on Wednesday. That morning, you have core retail sales also, by the way. There's nothing on the calendar today or tomorrow that brings that warrants our attention. Again, also on Wednesday after the FOMC, because that could get a little tricky, you have Japan's monetary policy statement. Now, FOMC, people are wondering, well, what's the big deal? We just heard in Jackson Hole that, they plan on keeping interest rates at or near zero for basically the foreseeable future. Who knows what that looks like the next 5 years. And they want to try and run inflation high, but they didn't give any details. And I don't know that they're going to give any details this week either. This week might be nothing more than basically pretty much a non-event with some dot plot movement from the Fed. Maybe the market likes seeing the dots also low, but maybe the market doesn't like what the Fed has to say, and maybe the market decides that it wants to test the Fed. Watch out for that. We're going to watch out for that. All right, we'll see where price is on Wednesday before the Fed, and then that's our signal. I talk about signal and noise. Price action after Wednesday is going to be a huge signal. We're going to watch what happens. We have our levels to the downside. If the Fed, it's possible the market pushes the Fed and pushes for that stimulus. Right now, the Fed is unable. The Fed wants to, but it cannot add that stimulus. Why? Because look at stocks, right? Stocks are just off all-time highs. The markets have been pumping. If the Fed injects that stimulus right now, what happens? They're going to just blow this bubble even bigger. That's why they backed off buying corporate bonds in August. There was no need to. The Fed is going to be there when is needed. As soon as it's needed, before anyone thinks, but not before. The fact that the government has not added any stimulus, right? That's held up right now in limbo. Obviously, we know it's coming later. But not just yet. I have to say, adding that all up, the markets are hanging in here pretty tightly, pretty good. Dollar is definitely down this morning. By the way, let's check in really quick on the Dow. The Dow, you can see in this bull flag. You see this clear bull flag you got on the Dow? Here is the lower trend line support. Here is the upper area right over here, right? And if the Dow, look at that, right over here. We're into some resistance, not just on the Dow, by the way. Here on the S&P, you're looking at this trend line resistance right over here that we've come into this morning. On the Nasdaq, we were held up by that trend line resistance so far. And you can see also this one is not a trend line. This one is horizontal resistance. Yeah, with that bull flag trend line resistance right over there. So before anyone starts chasing momentum, you're all into a resistance area this morning after just holding on to dear life, breaking off of that all-important critical support, which is where we should bounce off of. Watch over here. If you get the breakout, then you go look for this is the safer high probability trade, not the breakout. Obviously, don't buy into resistance ever. Wait for the breakout above. When you get the breakout above, right, even if it's a big breakout, maybe we trade all the way up into the next resistance. But wait for the retest and then the resumption out. That's the high probability trade. That's when you want to get involved. That's not just here on the Dow, right? We could see we're coming into this area over here also of resistance. A break above, and then wait for the pullback and resumption up. That's a nice looking trade. All right. DXY, let's take a look over here. DXY still not clear. Why do I say it's not clear, Jordan? Jordan, the DXY is getting wrecked today, right? I could say it's getting wrecked even though it's only down almost 0.4%, because when it's up 0.4%, everyone's like, the dollar's bid. The dollar right now, the DXY is into this trend line. This look over here, follow this bright line over here. This is the channel that we were trading in for a while, all of August, right? We broke above, we have tested it, resumed off, but never made a higher high than the last swing high, and are now back in testing that trend line. Okay, so again, talk about things being incredible. Yeah, by the way, this is a great comment over here. This is a politically free zone over here. We're here to talk about the markets. Not only that, I saw an amazing comment earlier this morning about what a positive place this is. And that's why I spend my time here, because I just like feed off of all of you. You all are really you have this beautiful outlook about life, this growth mindset. You're looking to improve yourself. You're looking to improve those around you. That's what I want to be a part of. Politics, not here. We're here to discuss the markets. So when it comes to politics, I'm going to make sure that I keep a really, really positive influence in this community. First and only warnings. There won't be any warnings. I'm not about that. By the way, Kips, I checked out your channel, Kips Guitar. Beautiful, especially the last updated, the most recent video. I really enjoyed that. I wish they were longer. They're very, very short. I wish they were a little bit longer. I definitely enjoyed that though. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, when no one's ignoring Nick, no one's ignoring the elections. No one's not even close to ignoring the elections. That's not political, right? That affects the markets. We need to talk about that, and I have been very clear about what could really upset the markets, right? What's political is when people, everyone knows. Everyone's a bit, adults here. Everyone understands. So there we go. Dollar. Let me get back into my flow because this is such an important session we got over here. I cannot wait to get into the currency pairs to see what is going on today, where we could really lean into and what not. There you go. All right. DXY. It right now is in a critical place where if it's going to hold, this is where it's going to look to resume off of. Everyone could see the support it's leaning into right now, right? A break here. By the way, we are at the same time putting in those lower highs and still those higher lows. So this is happening, this consolidation here. If we break down over here, specifically break, what is this area? 92.71, the low of last week. That's going to take us down into this pretty quickly. That area is down all the way at 92. We will hit 92 pretty quickly if we lose that area. This is a big trend line. This was all resistance until we broke out, retested, resumed off. All right, so the dollar, everything's so important to be tracking. I said you need to be sharp this week. You need to bring your A game. This is what's going on right now, and everyone needs to take note. You have the FOMC hanging over your head. I've seen it before, though. Sometimes the market makes its move before the FOMC. So we got to follow what is going on, price action. What does the DXY mean to me? The DXY, obviously everyone knows, is heavily weighted towards the euro. The euro is the most heavily weighted instrument. Then after that, you have the Japanese yen, pound, and then some other currency pairs. But it's a dollar story, and it's been a dollar story ever since we broke down this credit out of this channel over here. Do you see this channel, by the way? Do you see this channel? I was a dollar bull until we broke that channel, and then I got on the right side of the trade right quick, and ever since here, it's been a dollar story. It continues to be a dollar story. That's why we track the DXY. Now, is it possible you could have a rising dollar and rising precious metals? Yep, of course. Right? Let's take a look at precious metals right now. You can see over here, gold looking bid today, up almost 1%, right? Look over, this is what's nice. You see this trend line over here? And by the way, a couple of things I want you to focus in on this pattern. We have a couple of patterns on gold playing out. You do have this triangle, right? You see this triangle? Have we broken out yet? I don't think so. You have this triangle after a big move up. That's bullish. What else do you have? You also have this descending triangle. I see a descending triangle as well, right? And that we might have actually broken out of. Came into the resistance that we were all watching. This needs to be a little darker. Give me 1 second, please. Just want to show you what's going on in gold. There we go. Let's be able to see what we're doing over here. We broke out. We called this resistance right up here. We said, watch out. We're coming into resistance. We rejected it. Why do I say resistance? I want everyone to be on the same page. You see this trend line over here that we were holding and holding and holding, held again here, held over here. Once we broke it, right, that support became resistance right over there. And we were tracking it that day. But we've since come back down and are resuming off of this. Super healthy, right? Let's see what happens if we get back up into there, because now we have that trend line resistance and also horizontal resistance at 1976. At 1976 in that area, you have horizontal and trend line resistance clear above there, and then that's when people who are still undecided, that's when you got to look to be getting long on gold over there. Breakout above there will be looking, I think, to test and break the yearly high. I know everyone is quite bearish on precious metals. I'm not bearish on the near term until we lose 1900. The support over here at 1900, I talked about that in yesterday's update. If and when we lose that, then we're looking for a bigger pullback, and then we will stay neutral waiting to buy. Does it make sense to sell precious metals? Absolutely not. You are in a bull market. You have not only the technicals with you, you also have the fundamentals. All right. What about silver? What's going on here with silver this morning? By the way, Bitcoin is about 10 points, $10 off of testing that resistance. We'll take a look at that in a second as well. Yeah, listen, if you're happy to be here this morning, please go ahead and support the stream. Hit that like button, smash that like button. If you learn anything new, same thing. Please smash that like button. Appreciate the support. I sincerely do. Thank you for that. Let's go over here. Silver, what's going on? Silver, also similar patterns that's going on gold. So similar. And what do I mean by that? First, I got to clean up this chart. We need a clean chart. Thanks for those likes. I appreciate that, everybody. I really do. By the way, did everyone see that we hit 50,000 subscribers on the channel? What an amazing milestone. That just really set me off last night. That was so nice to see. Grateful for this community. Grateful each and every one of you. All right, let's go. We got the same pattern developing on gold, where you have this triangle developing after a big up move, super bullish. Not only that, you also have this descending triangle. You can see it as clear as day right there, right? We haven't yet broken above there, right? Get above 2744, right? Wait for the break. Look to confirm that and the resumption off. Is that worth playing for my target? My target over there remains the same as over here. My target remains the same over there. Why? I'd rather take profit into that big resistance over here, and then if we break above it, fantastic. I'll tell you where the upside resistance is, but then we could get back involved. All right? So precious metals, so far it's a big week. Got the FOMC. Nothing comes easy. You got to work for it. Bitcoin, right? Look over here, 1572. We popped above it. I like when I see gold is kind of leading silver today. Yes, silver's up a little bit more, but you know that silver definitely, whether it's to the upside or downside, is more volatile than gold. Gold is doing the work again today. You're seeing the same thing happening in crypto. It's Bitcoin that's doing the work. Bitcoin is leading, right? Let's see if we could break it back up above here. If we do, then we're targeting this area. This is resistance right over there. That trend line resistance coming in at 11,320. Why is that resistance? That was all support right over here that whole time. That's resistance now, right? Are we going to bust through it? Probably not. Probably consolidate. Boom. All right. Let's see if we get it or not. We're still in the blue box. We're not out of the woods by any means whatsoever. Yeah, trading is like having definitely an extra job. Yeah, and those who treat it as such are going to do so much better. Those who take it seriously, those who treat it as a career, those who really, really want to succeed are going to do much better. With your knowledge, I bet 10x at 50. Yeah, thanks, Tay. I appreciate that. It's all the community, though, right? I mean, just read the comments. It's amazing. You guys are all awesome. Of course, while we're dealing with precious metals, let's take a look over there. Let's take a look. This has not been clear for me, as this was clear over here, right? This is where we attacked. Now I could see the same thing that's happening. The same thing that's happening on Bitcoin and silver. You all familiar with this pattern that we're seeing, this triangle, right? We're into resistance right now, close to a breakout to the upside. Don't ever trade the break. Don't ever trade the breakout. Always wait for the retest and then the resumption up. That's in play very soon. What about what's going on with copper? See, that looks like it's breaking out here. That looks like it's breaking out. This needs to be cleaned up. I'll do that later. I don't want to do that right now while we're all together. Well, I just did it. Wait for the break, right? Everything looking pretty healthy, right? Kips is adding that insight over and over again. When you have that strong dollar, look for what is holding up the best. That usually leads when the dollar turns. The DXY, everyone should have a really solid understanding of, right? When I say it's in a bearish trend, right? Well, it's enormously bearish. Once we broke over there, came back down. Look, there's the retest, the resumption down. Of course, it's bearish, but we're on the verge of what we're watching it like hawks, because it could hold here into this. This is support. This trend line here is support. This channel that was resistance is now support. It could hold and resume off here and really go on to a counter trend move. I have become, everyone has seen, once we broke right over here, this is a technical break. That was a technical break to the upside. And although I didn't say everyone get bullish on the dollar since then, I have been, let's call it, highly alert, getting ready for a big counter trend move on the dollar. Everyone could see why this whole time I was so bearish on the dollar. And then like here, things started to change. And then when we broke over here, I'm now like, let's say like I am so just uber cautious that I could turn to dollar bull quickly. That's the thing. I don't get lost in all the macro. You have people who they get up in their own head. They develop this narrative and then they stick to it regardless of what's happening with price. I'm the opposite. I'm watching what's going on with price, and I just want to follow what's going on with trends and be on the right side of them. Right? So is that always easy? No. The hardest part is when the trend changes. That's why in this area I'm super alert right now, because we're seeing signs of a possibility of a trend change. Stick to this. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Let me take a look really quick. What's going on here? S&P is pushing its gains. We're about 5 minutes to the U.S. equity markets open. Okay, dollar pushing its gains. Bitcoin looking to break out over here. It's testing an area where it could break out. By the way, if I've said we could come high and fast into that area, of course. So what happens then if you don't get the trade? So what? Do not worry, right? So this is swing traders. I don't swing trade Bitcoin. I think it's not the way to do it. I think the way to trade Bitcoin, obviously, as you're entering this bull market over here, as we've entered the bull market over here, as we're looking at a 10, 15x on Bitcoin over the next 14, 15 months, I think that you're better off digging in and looking at that as an investment. But if we come straight up, you never get the trade, fine. Wait until you break out over here. Boom. That's a beautiful entry. That's a high probability entry. What happens if this happens? What happens if we break above here, come back down and retest this, and that holds as support, that broken resistance? That's also a beautiful entry. The worst entry that people take is following price up here, because that could easily be a false break and come back down. It's a low probability trade. For me, Rex, yes. For me, Rex, yes. For me, yes. Ethereum, right? Also into some resistance over there. You see Bitcoin is in that resistance. Ethereum's also into resistance. We're at some big levels over here. We never close that CME gap. That's if we break out here, that's super bullish. You had a lot of traders trying to close that CME gap. They're going to have to cover. They're going to have to cover, which is why I say we could shoot up pretty quickly if we break that level. Also, look at Ethereum this morning. We're going to get into all of FX in just a moment. If you're happy to be here and you're appreciating the flow, go ahead and smash that like button. Please go ahead and help support the channel. It's all free. I hope you enjoy. I hope you learn something. Yeah, we started this morning looking at the S&P 500. If you're just joining the stream as the markets are about to open here, you want to know what's going on, simply pull back that red button at the bottom of the video. Go to the beginning of the stream. We talk about the S&P 500, then the Nasdaq, then the Dow. Then we move over to the dollar, gold, silver, Bitcoin. That's the flow if you want to follow. It's the same thing every day. If you're joining us late, you're into resistance right now on silver. Do you see this over here? Let me move this down for you, Mike Allison. Thank you for being such a positive influence always. We're into some resistance over there, right? Right now. This is trendline resistance coming up over there. Ethereum, the reason I'm bringing that up to your attention over here, 360, that started the bull market back above it. If we break this resistance over here, that sets Ethereum off. Then we have a super healthy market over here. If we got Bitcoin and Ethereum going, they're going to bring everything else up with it. Today, it's not the altcoins doing the work. It's the big two, Bitcoin and then Ethereum. Bitcoin looking to push above. All right, let's start over here with the dollar. With the Euro US dollar. I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to be running through all of these pairs, right? Pound bid today. Oof, pound has bid nicely today. Kind of the strongest pair that I'm seeing. What do I see with the yen? The yen is kind of mixed on the session. New Zealand dollar kind of also bid. I'm just getting a feel for what's going on before we start looking through the board over here, which we're going to do right now. I'm going to be going through all of these currency pairs to get a feel of the markets. Anything that has setup potential, I'm going to flag with a yellow flag. Later this evening, I come back to those yellow flags and I look at them and I see if I want to enter any trades during the upcoming session. This is one of the gems. Thanks for picking up on that little bit of gem, that nugget of gold right there, Mike. That's really important way to approach the markets. You get a lot of people like. Have you ever? Thank you, Brett. Have you ever been there yourself? You get in front of the computer in the morning. What's the first thing you do? This is your trading plan. You ready? You pull up a chart of the Euro US dollar and you buy. That was literally your trading plan, right? That's not a trading plan. That's you're sure to lose money. But you notice how when you do that, you start tracking the market. You start watching every tick once you're in that trade. And then as the hours passed, or maybe a day or two, you understand clearly what's going on right now in the Euro US dollar, because ever since you entered that trade, you've been watching it and that trade's against you. And then you say to yourself, oh, look at it, right here's the setup. If I were entering right here, this would have been. That's how you do it, except you don't enter first, you watch first. Did we get the breakout on Bitcoin, or are we just following? Yeah, there we go. We got a little pop on Bitcoin. Look at that. Nice to see. Beautiful. U.S. equity markets opening right now. S&P is near the high of the day, right? Near the high of the day. Nasdaq is taking back a turn at that resistance. It's very nice to see. Also, I just want to bring everyone's attention to what happened right here, what our whole approach was. Our approach was we're at a very critical place right here. We had to be uber careful. If we lose this, that's a huge technical break. We could see further selling. Here's when you kind of this is when you have to have faith in support and resistance though, right? That's when you have to have faith. A lot of people, they chase momentum and they sell into support and they also buy into resistance. If you could make that one adjustment today and stop yourself from ever doing that again, you're on your way to drastically improving your overall trading performance. You wait not only for the move into the support, you wait for the resumption off. That's your first indication that you have a high probability trade happening and it's time to go ahead and get involved. I don't think Beijing is going to allow them to sell TikTok to any U.S. company. That's my opinion on it. All right, let's see what's going on with FX. Right? 575 likes in here this morning. Hey, if you're here, thanks for being here. Let me just get a quick look around. The dollar is near its lows on the day, right? Gold is just off its high on the day. Silver the same. Bitcoin beginning to pump. right? We're targeting up here 11,000, 11,000, almost 300. Now, does that mean that we go straight up? We could go straight up, actually. I've said that before. If we break outside this, that we could go straight up into that area of resistance. Now, if that's happening and you're not in this trade, don't chase it. Wait. There's always opportunity. Just wait for the right opportunity. However, if we get a retest of that broken resistance right now and then resume off that, that's a trade you want to be involved in. All right, let's go. Euro US dollar. We're going to go through FX now. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, my brother. Yeah, that's a good attitude to be, Tom. That's a really good way to see things. I'm the same way with you. Hey, Mike, thanks. Mike, you're just simply a positive influence, and I'm grateful for that. Every time you jump in here and say hi, I'm so grateful. Yeah, we're going to go through all the FX. We're going to go through all the FX right now, but we're going to do it in order. So we're going to start here with the euro. We'll get down to the Australian dollar, Japanese yen soon enough. Thank you for that, Mike. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the love. I definitely do. Here's the euro US dollar. We looked at this yesterday in the Sunday update. You guys notice that whenever we're at a very important juncture, that no matter what's going on, I'm going to update you all. That happened while I was on vacation in early August when gold and silver puked and everyone thought that, and I was like, wait, no, they're into support. Now's when you lean in buy. Yesterday, your equity markets at a critical support level. Just felt it's super important to update you. I'll always do that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's go. Euro US dollar, we are bouncing off of this trend line over here, right? This kind of gives you a little bit of a lean on the DXY that we're following. Keep this line going up, by the way. If we break down over here, and just like, let me pop over to the DXY, because I'm saying to you, this is right now support. And if we resume off of there, I know everyone is very bearish on the dollar this morning, but we're into support. And not only that, we are on the verge of possibly setting up for a big counter trend move, right? Watch me. I've been like all over the dollar all year, right? Watch. We're not out of the woods. Right over here, watch for a resumption off. That's when we have to be leaning in. Why do I bring that up now? Because looking at the euro US dollar, the same thing over there. If we break it down out of over here and lose this trend line, right? The next stop, this support, right? And I bet you it breaks if we come into it. 1.1767. Watch this trend line. If you lose that trend line, that's when you're looking for a move against the dollar. Nothing going on today. There's no setup here right now today. Was there overnight in London? Yes, of course. You could see that we bounced off the trend line, making that higher high during London. Anyone who took that trade, that's a trade. Is it a good one? I don't know. It's a trade though. Right over here, we're looking at the Australian dollar, US dollar. Too soon. We're in no man's land, first of all. Do you see the resistance up here? And you see the support over here, and you see us in the dead middle, in the dead center. That's no man's land. There's no trade here. Appropriately so. Where's the dollar right now? The dollar is at a critical support. Here, you also see that happening, though. It's getting ready to break. Which way it goes, I don't know. We'll find out. So let's keep going. So right now, this is the analogy that I like to give. Right now, you're a surfer. What do surfers do? They sit on top of their board and they look into the horizon. What are they looking for? They're looking for when a set of waves come in. And then when they see that set of waves coming in, what do? They're looking for the best wave that they want to ride out of that set. So right now, we've gone through two pairs. They're both US dollar pairs, but neither is offering any type of even setup. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, same thing. Look, we're caught up into this. What is this? This is consolidation. Does everyone see this area over here? That's consolidation. We're in that consolidation. Not only that, we're dead center in between these two areas. And similar to the Australian dollar, US dollar, right? We're on the verge of breaking out over there. There's no trade whatsoever. There's no trade whatsoever. Thank you, Chadwin. Thank you so much. Silver wave's a good wave to be on. Don't get off that wave. Right? By the way, I just want to give a shout out. Down over here, 26. We break down below 26. That's when you get off. But you don't get short. You're waiting to see what happens down at the next support down over here. Down over here, 24.50, 23. That's where we would be looking to buy if either one of those supports held and resumed off of. But right now, as long as we hold 26, this is uber bullish and remains uber bullish. I have not let go of my bullish bias on either gold or silver. Right? Notice that because a lot of people have. Bitcoin being Bitcoin. All right. Let's keep going over here. Australian dollar, Swiss franc. I see this. This looks a little bit better. A couple of things. I see over here, right, that little bit of support, which is more important than the support I have in there. And I also see a triangle developing, but I don't know if it's a triangle so much as, yeah, it's a clear triangle. So over here, break above 0.6624. That looks super bullish, right? We're down right now, testing the lower end of support right now. You need to see a resumption off. That next resumption off, if that happens during London, might be a good one. If you break down over here, are you in an uptrend or a downtrend? We're in a super strong uptrend ever since the Fed intervened in the March lows. We're in an uptrend. This is a descending triangle, right? Could it break down? Yeah, but what happens if you break down? You got support. Let me fix this up, actually. I'm going to hold on one second because this is in play now. I'm actually watching this. So hold on. Give me one quick second to make this tighter. Even if you're not interested in this pair right now, the Australian dollar, Swiss franc, what you're being shown here will provide value for everything else you're watching. So I'm going to move this down over here, that support to where the market is focused on. You see that support over there? You see that resistance? Right? That's what we're focused in on. And this one over here, I'm going to move this down over to here. Right? That's where the market is putting in the support area. All right, so just cleaning this up a little for myself. So if we fall down over here, I will watch. Do you see this little bit of resistance? It's such a light level, but over there you could see it as well. Let me clone that and put that in. I'll be watching that first. I'll be watching that area first. And if we resume off there, I'm looking to buy. We're in an uptrend. Same thing off of over here. Right now, if this support holds over here and we come in, break off this trend line, that's a place to look to buy. I don't love the setup at this moment yet, but I'm going to be watching that one. Australian dollar, Japanese yen. This looks good. Why does that look good? You see over here the support that we have over here. The support coming in at $76 and call it 70 cents, right? You can see we're into some local support now. If a resumption off of this, Australian dollar, Japanese yen, that's beautiful. I like it a lot. Let me flag it though. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. This one I like the best. Why would you like this, Jordan? Do you see this bull flag? Do you see this bull flag that I have clearly marked over here? What happened was we broke out of it and are now testing that broken resistance as support. A resumption off of here, that's a beautiful entry on the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Now I'm still in this trade from when my entry was over here as we were towards the bottom support of the bull flag and also the horizontal support over there. Resumed over there, I took that trade. Would I add to it here? No, I'm not going to add to it. It's not far. I'm even though this is an entry, resuming off of it, I'm already in the trade. I'm just going to hold on. No, if you want to know when to take the course, there's a link in the description below which will teach you what trades to look for, which ones to take. Not only that, how to manage them, what risk per trade you should be using. Like the value is absolutely incredible, but I'm not, I have a few trades on right now. The whole idea is to teach you how to trade. If you're ever leaning on someone else to give you any type of buy or sell, alerts, you're never going to succeed. You're going to lose money. They're exiting the trade maybe overnight, right? Or maybe things change, they exit, you don't know about it. There's no way you'll lose money like that for sure. No, Eduardo, really quick recap. So I focused on price. Price is the most important indicator. Everything else is lagging. So I follow price along the market structure of support and resistance with the help of trend lines and chart patterns. You saw me looking at those triangles. Those are chart patterns. You see the trend lines that I key off of all the time. Support and resistance is the structure of the market following price alone. That the market is so complicated. You have thousands and thousands and thousands of different variables you could include into your analysis, all conflicting upon each other. When you have something so complex, genius is making it as simple as possible. Go ahead and take it. The market is too complex. You have to simplify it. Nice kips. All right. S&P up towards its highs of the day, looking to take out the high of the day, right? The overnight session and that resistance. If that happens, what are we targeting, right? So by the way, it remains the same, right? You see this resistance over here in the next line? There's a big move over here, right? I think we take out that resistance. I think we're looking to take out that. And I think this is where it remains the same. Nothing's changed. That's the place that I'm targeting. That's the place that I'm targeting. We'll come back to that. What's going on with the Nasdaq? Into that resistance, not yet trading above it. DXY back towards the lows of the day. This could be a beautiful breakdown. Gold towards the highs of the days. Not there, but towards the high. Silver also. And Bitcoin also at the highs of the day. New York is continuing the trends right now. Boom, 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 boom. Rodolfo, there is a link in the description below. It's an affiliate link if you want to help support the channel for BlockFi. For the last 2.5 months, all of my purchases have come from BlockFi. It's the easiest way that I know of, the best way that I know of to purchase Bitcoin. You could send a same-day wire, and within an hour or two, it posts, and you'll be able to buy it. They also pay 6%. You could also do some searches and find some other places to buy Bitcoin. In your look, there's so many places, it's ridiculous. All right, let's keep going. I want to go with this flow over here. I want to see what's going on. Swiss franc, Japanese yen. By the way, if we go through all of the pairs and we just determine that there's nothing going on, that's a win. That's fine. I look to take 3 trades a week. 3 trades a week. I am picky about my setups. I am looking for high probability setups. Swiss franc, by the way, what do I notice that's going on? Let me extend this up. You see, look at that. I'm just extending up that trend line we had there. Do you see what happened? This was support. Look, whether or not you're trading the Swiss franc, Japanese yen or not, this is relevant for every single market. A market is a market. If you learn how to trade, it doesn't matter what instrument or what market you trade. It's the same exact concept. But over here, this was all support, this trend line over here. After broken, look what happened. The break, the retest, and resumption down, right? And now look, that held again here as resistance. This trend line is resistance until it's broken again. This is an uptrend, right? Is this a place to lean into? You could see that little bit of local support right there. Yes, you hear my hesitation? Like, yes, no, maybe. It's not a clear trade. I'm looking for that to resume off this support, and I'll then be looking to come over here. I should move this down a little bit. The market's focused in on over here. I'm going to focus in over there too. And that would be a target. That's a pretty good trade, except I'm not interested in it. Yeah, they also now, BlockFi just a couple of weeks ago started offering purchases of Pax Gold, right? It's digital gold that is backed by physical gold in London vaults, and you can now purchase Pax Gold, right? You could purchase Pax Gold through BlockFi now as well. You can find that link in the description below. Brett, thank you, brother. The course classes are excellent and the best value I've seen. I know the theories, but not the application or market technical analysis. Thank you. Grateful to be here and learn. Thanks for being here, Brett. Definitely grateful for that. Yeah, you could buy, you could, if you want to hold your Bitcoin on BlockFi and receive interest on it up to 2 Bitcoin, 2.5 Bitcoin, it's 6% interest. And then it's what, 2.5% below 2 Bitcoin. You could transfer it into BlockFi, or you could purchase it through BlockFi. Can you get physical with packs if you Lane? If you I think it's if you own 400 ounces or above, then you could, and it has to be delivered because the gold is stored in London vaults. It has to be delivered to another vault in London. It has to be delivered. So that's not, you know what I'm saying? If you're interested in holding physical gold, then you're not looking to buy Pax gold, right? If you're looking for a digital instrument that's easy to transfer, right, then you'd be looking for Pax gold as opposed to physical gold. All right, let's keep going. Euro, Australian dollar. By the way, S&P making new highs. Nasdaq not yet, towards them. DXY making lows of the session. Gold, silver testing their highs. Bitcoin still testing their highs. Everything's humming along so far. Do you see the you guys look at this right now? What do you see? Euro, Australian dollar. I'll tell you what I see. This is a big downtrend. You guys remember this moved 2,000 pips in one day? This is a big downtrend, but we've been consolidating now for an extended period of time. Look, that's big resistance right over there. That's the top of that was support. One touch to resistance, another resistance. But this is sideways. This is sideways. Why is it sideways? Well, the euro's been bid for the last couple of months and strong, but the Australian dollar in this risk-on environment has also been strong. The two are battling it out. Do I have any interest in trading, first of all, a sideways market? No. Do I like to focus on two strong currencies? No. I like to play strength versus weakness, right? When I see a currency that has been weak, right, versus a currency pair that has been strong. Strength versus do I want to trade against two strong currency pairs? No. And they're sideways. There's no edge. There's nothing that I want to get involved in right now. Let's stop for a second. I just want to look at Tesla. Right? Everyone could go back to last week, Friday. We were looking into that support over there. You got some resistance coming up. A lot bigger resistance over here. Anyone in Tesla, that's a big resistance you have over here that's coming in at $418. All right, let's keep going. Looking for like that. I'm like looking for treasure here, seeing what's unveiled. Euro, Canadian dollar into some big resistance over here. It's into some big resistance. Let me change that over. Now, I have to say why this is not attractive to me right now. Why is that not attractive? Well, I don't want to trade against the euro, right? First of all, this is in an uptrend. That's in an uptrend. But this has been sideways. If we clear this resistance level, then it becomes interesting to me. If we clear, so maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday. If we break above this, then that becomes interesting to me. If we break above that resistance, flip that into support, and then come up, that becomes very interesting. It's not today. Not at all. 500 people in here. Everyone, I'm grateful. Thanks for being in here. I appreciate spending this time with you. It just really, first of all, when I come in this morning and the music's playing and I see all your positive vibes, it just really uplifts me. And then I get focused in on the markets and able to go ahead and do this is sideways. Do you see that? This is sideways. This is super sideways. Is this something that I want to be involved in? It's not for me. I'm looking to get involved into instruments that look, you got to hold on to your winners. You got to push your winners and cut your losers short. Is it possible to push a winning trade in a sideways market? No. I'm looking to break multiple support or resistance levels when I enter a trade, not get into the first one. It's a sideways market. All right. So S&P doing its thing right now. Nasdaq coming up towards the highs of the session into that resistance. Look at that. S&P taking out the resistance and the high of the session. Dollar, it's still in that limbo land into that support towards the low of the session, and gold is now towards its high of the session. Bitcoin getting ready to continue its pump. All right. What's next? We were up to the Euro Swiss franc. What about the Euro British pound? Listen, other people will be able to see this clearly. The British pound I'm speaking of right now, as we're going to be looking for a couple more Euro pairs, then get into British pound. For me, I am not trading British pound pairs. Why? Because right now we're getting towards the climax of the whole Greek exit drama situation. We're going to either see the UK leave with a deal or without, and it's an unknown variable to me. It's too much of an asymmetrical bet. So I am not involved whatsoever. A lot of hedge funds, by the way, were getting really, really long the British pound prior to all the hiccups that happened last week. They seem to be on the wrong side of the trades right now. Look what's up over here, though, right? Does everyone see that big area of supply over here? This is where we've bottomed out so far. I just need to stay away. That's all I could say to you. I need to stay away. I look for clarity, not volatility. Euro Japanese yen. This is also kind of caught between this resistance and that support. It's dead center off of some support. Is it possible to take a resumption out of here? Not for me. I'd rather stand aside. I don't see much clarity today. I don't see such clarity today. Yeah, we looked at the Australian dollar, Japanese yen. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs ago. If you want to pull back into the stream, boom, 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 boom. I'm not familiar. It's on the Canadian exchange, QBTC. I'm not familiar with it, but for sure, if you want to find so the best info that I don't have insight I could offer you. I'm not going to talk about something unless I do. What you could do is just do some searches and find out. I'm not sure. Yes, for both. It's the single best place if you've never traded before. The single best place to start. If you've never traded before, it's because you're going to learn everything well. You're going to have no bad habits to break. I had many people trading in the market 17, 15 years who taking the course, which again, the value is unreasonable, have then gone on. That's what made them turn the corner of profitability. Yep, it is. I'm just not one of them. I got to stay away from that type of volatility, and I look for my clarity. Hold on one second. I lost y'all. Let me try that right there. All right, we're back. Euro. I don't like the waves this morning. But that's fine. Precious metals, Bitcoin are all pumping. Those are our longer term trades, and the equity markets are giving us some breath, right? All right. I want to focus and continue. Euro, New Zealand dollar. Look, I don't have an edge. I'm going to keep going. Pound Australian dollar. Here's a look at. We're just gonna, even though I'm not interested in trading them, a lot of you might be. We're gonna get some look at some pound pairs right now. Pound Australian dollar broke down over here pretty big. It's in right now this area where my mouse is. That's an area of resistance. I'm gonna move it down right now since that's where we are focused on. Right over there. Boom. That's the strong one. Right. You see these two touches over there. Then that was resistance on the way up. And then over that, a little bit of support. That's the level to focus in on. A move into there and a rejection, right? We're in a big downtrend. What do you do in downtrends? You sell off of resistance. All right, pound Canadian dollar. Also, a move into resistance this morning. Let me go ahead and just continue to make these charts more updated because we're into September now. We're looking to keep going here. All right, so you're into resistance now on the pound Canadian dollar. Do you want to bet against the Canadian dollar? Do you want to bet for the Canadian dollar? I'd rather stand aside. Look, back up too. Do you see that like you are basically sideways? I don't like it. Pound Swiss franc, however, pound Swiss franc, however, look at this. This looks good for though this isn't a downtrend, a very strong downtrend. That's broken support over here, coming back up to retest it. A rejection off of there. That becomes interesting. So that becomes interesting. Pound Swiss franc, pound Japanese yen, same thing that you're seeing. You've broken this important support level and are now testing it as resistance, right? Markets focus down there. Just cleaning up my charts. Both of those are interesting. Pound New Zealand dollar. Also, big area over here. That was support. All this was resistance. Once it broke, that was all support. Back down below it. Pound not looking so solid. These moves today that we're seeing, only the one that does is the pound US dollar. But that's bouncing. Look over here. Let me clean that up. This is resistance right over there, right? Local resistance 1.2953. I wouldn't, if I'm looking to play a weak dollar, it's not versus the pound, to tell you that. If I'm looking to play the dollar, it's not versus the pound. There's way other interesting pairs right now. New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. This looks good. This looks good. Let me flip this over. I'm not loving FX today. I'm not loving FX today at all. But this looks very bullish over here. It looks extraordinarily bullish. Move that up. That looks extraordinarily bullish. A retest into this support over here. Maybe that happens tomorrow. That will attract my attention. That would be something that I would be looking to attack on for sure. Nothing going on. It's okay. If I see nothing going on in the markets, then I know there's nothing going on. This looks awesome as well right now as well. Do you see this bull flag that we're coming out of right now? We've broken out of it and now looking to resume out of it. This looks good overnight. A resumption out of this brings in an entry for myself. I just want to clean that up a little. I've been drawing lines freehand, and I'm going to start drawing them a little bit more. Now, I'm going to clone that. That's what I'm looking at right now. That's what I'm looking at right now. I do like this pair. New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. Also, like this a lot. Do you see how that we held that trend line over here? I think this goes back. Let's see how far that goes back. That goes a 5-year trend line over there. All right. Bouncing off of it. Above this horizontal support. A resumption off of this is the best trade that I like so far today. I'll be watching that one tonight as well. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. This is more no man's land for me. I got the resistance over there, the support. I'm not focused on the dollar pairs. Not until the dollar makes a break one way or another. I'm not focused in. I'm not dialed into dollar pairs right now. US dollar, Japanese yen. This is becoming interesting now. I've been staying away for this for so long, but now I see this happening. Getting ready for a big move here on the US dollar, Japanese yen. Getting ready for a big move. Right? Interesting. Let me flag it so I keep watching it. US dollar, Swiss franc. Oh. So first of all, sell off resistance in a downtrend, right? But I'm watching this. This could be a possible, look, I'm not trying to call a bottom, and I don't pick bottoms. I'm not going to take the trade, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to do my analysis, right? This could be right over here. What was that line I had over there? That's what I want to focus in on. See that trend line over here? We broke above, retested it, came into that long-term resistance, but are now testing in this over there. A resumption off of over here. This could be the bottoming. We might see a big move on the dollar, right? We might see the dollar gain strength. Depends what happens. Today's a big day on the dollar as we continue to test this area. We don't know where this is going to close. If this resumes off of this overnight and this trend line support holds over here, if that support holds over here and that kicks off a big counter trend move on the dollar, The US dollar Swiss franc could be bottoming here. I don't take the trade. I'm still going to look at it, right? It still improves my trading to see what's going on if it happens. Even if I don't take the trade, at the same time, do also notice you are also on the verge of this being a false break. This got a lot of traders trapped possibly on the wrong side, and this could add a lot of fuel if we break down over there. Or break down below 0.90394, right? That support over there, back below this trend line over there, that could really open up. Also, the dollar could go either way. It's at a critical juncture. US dollar, Canadian dollar into this resistance over there. We've been watching. I can see that happening as well over there. A rejection there below that trend line. That does offer up a nice short with the Canadian dollar against the dollar. Break above this important resistance right over there. That could then be a big. The dollar is at a very critical junction here, and it could put on that counter trend move. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, nothing. It's not offering really any type of anything interesting whatsoever. US dollar, Mexican peso, it's been a moneymaker this year. Continue it, right? Everyone who's been following the channel knows when I got short over here around 22.50, I was looking to break down over there. All right, that's kind of a look around FX, and it's not so interesting for me today. I flagged a lot of things, and only one or two of them were even mildly interesting for me, which means later tonight I'll be looking at them. I'll look at them all anyway, just as exercise, right? Even if things are not there, you still want to be focused in on them. And I always have that mindset that, like, I'm not looking for a trade until the trade's so clear that I know I have to take it. That's how I'm going into tonight. Maybe I wind up taking 2 trades. I don't know. We'll see what's happening going in to the Asian session. Let's look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin trading at the highs of the day, putting in some nice moves. Beautiful. S&P maintaining its highs over here. High of the session, high of the day, breaking above that resistance over there. Looking solid, looking good. Same thing with the Nasdaq. Now finally breaking above that resistance over there. Dow is into resistance. Look, the Dow becomes actually very interesting. Oh, like almost, how could I say, easy if we break out of this bull flag. If we break out of the bull flag, that becomes an opportunity there on the Dow. Yes, I'm so glad I caught this comment. Congratulations. Look, fast forward winter of 2021 is going to be super exciting. Super exciting deciding what we are transitioning out of and into. All right. That's a good look around the markets today. Does Bitcoin continuing to pump still? George, it's the higher high off of the support. You could buy $200 worth of Bitcoin. You could buy $200 worth of Bitcoin looking for a 10, 15x on that, right? And then what could you do? Continue it. You know, you wait it out. We're aware of the cycles. Wait until we're like, all right, now's the time for us to begin accumulating back into Bitcoin, right? And do that all over again. Do it again. Time and compounding. Nice, Steve. Nice purchase over there. So Tom, now that we finished going through, so first of all, if you were here since the beginning, if you enjoyed the way that because we're going to be doing it every day from now on, except Fridays. Fridays have their own flow. We're going to be going through every single FX pair, just getting into that flow. This is where when you start getting into the flow of the market, when you have the pulse of the market, That's when the magic happens. That's when you start seeing things uber clearly. You're able to see them as they're happening, before they're happening, and you're able to be preemptive instead of chasing momentum. That's where we're going to be focused. That's how we're going to continue to dial in and clean up the next 3 months. So if you enjoyed the flow of today's session, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you already smashed the like button, thanks for being here. DeFi, good question. Now that we've gone through our analysis over there, what are my thoughts on it? Listen, I think that DeFi is going to become really interesting, and you're going to see an enormous amount of growth and transfer of wealth into it once Wall Street recognizes it, right? It's in its infancy stages right now. It's all ultra highly speculative, right? Does it make sense if you're young and you're taking a small portion of your money? Forget about the farming for yields, but going ahead and maybe speculating on a few different tokens, on the leaders. Yeah, you know what? You gotta take risks in order to go ahead and put together some wealth. You gotta take calculated risks. But for me, DeFi is way too early to get involved. It is too dangerous. I don't have any business. Bitcoin, I'm looking at a 10, 15x, 14, 15 months. Oh my goodness, what a return, right? Bitcoin is proven. Bitcoin is solid. It's a high probability trade. I'm so aware of the cycles, right? So 10, 15x, what happens if you do that on 2 times leverage? What are you looking at? 20, 30x? Do I want to participate in DeFi? Something that is, anyone who's involved in DeFi will be the first to tell you that this is experimental technology. It's just way too soon. Is DeFi the future? Is there going to be a huge future for DeFi? Oh, I certainly hope so. And I think so. I just think it's way too soon. I don't follow the VIX ever. I'm able to see the volatility of the markets by following the indexes. The VIX does not give me any type of edge whatsoever. DeFi is decentralized finance. Gene, do I think Ethereum is scalable? No, I don't. Maybe it is. I've been wrong about things, and I don't think that Ethereum is scalable. I don't think its founders think it's scalable. Is it possible that whether it's 2 or 5 years from now, they're able to implement any type of update that makes it scalable? Yeah, totally. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for being here. That's right, Rex. Put it in Casa. By the way, HODL. You want to keep your Bitcoin safe, right? Use multi-sig. Keep it so that even if anyone had access to your hardware wallet, they couldn't do anything with it. You got it. When you're taking control of your own security, you're taking control of your own security. Do I think that all these trillions of dollars will pump off soft commodity prices as well as metals? When I'm looking at, when I'm looking at the turn here between deflation and inflation, and I think it's very difficult because on one hand you have technology is super deflationary, right? It's taking away jobs. It's lowering the price of goods. You have QE, which is hyperinflationary for asset prices. But what that really does is create a greater and greater divide between the have and the have-nots, the rich and the poor, right? Obviously, everyone's household living expenses are hyperinflationary. I think when we see inflation hit is not going to be until we really see, and we've seen signals of it happening. This is why I'm looking for the turn. It could take years, is because once we see full-blown MNT, that is when we're really going to see inflation take foothold. We're not seeing that right now. We continue to see deflationary signals. I think that in 2020, during the crisis, we've seen signal, not noise, that we could possibly making that turn. It happens slowly. It's gradually and then suddenly. I'm not interested in Cardano. It's just not my thing. Do I think it pumps during the alt cycle? Yeah. I don't know, because they keep pushing it back. It's been pushed back for, and pushed back and pushed back. I don't know. Yeah, storing in a hardware wallet. Cold storage is in a hardware wallet. You want to store it. All right, let's take a look real quick at what's going on here. We got the S&P humming along over there into some light local resistance. Not something that I'm focused on. We got Nasdaq making session highs over here. Dow also. The DXY still struggling over here. This is what I'm really focused on. If we take out the last week's low, then the DXY is going to 92. It's targeting 92 pretty quickly. If it holds here and we start seeing that resume off and make a higher high during London, that could be when I call the turn of the dollar. Now, we do have the FOMC on Wednesday, so I'm aware of that. Bitcoin trading up nicely today. It's a nice day, but it's a nice day for what? For riding those longer term trends that we've held and continue to hold. This is where gold runs into problem. 1976 area, right? Is that 1976 exactly? No. It's within a few dollars. But that's when it runs clear above there, then we're going. I don't know, Wes. I'm not up to date. It's been a good session. I'm thankful for it. Thankful for all of you. Yeah, I've seen the New Zealand dollar stronger, but Thomas, I'm also watching. This resuming off is a beautiful setup. You see the breakout? See the bull flag? The breakout, and now a retest. A resumption up. That's a good looking trade. Oh. So I thank you, everybody. I thank you so much. I am so grateful for the presence of each and every one of you. Thank you for the positive attitude. Thank you for the growth mindset. Thank you for the camaraderie, the community, for helping each other. That's right, Tom. That's right. Stop. Learn. Have that open posture. You're in a really, truly wonderful place. If you're serious about making this, if you're serious about making it as a trader, you stumbled across a great place. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate it. My pleasure. Thank you, Vicky. That's right. I don't like the set coming in just yet. Yeah, Kevs. I sincerely, really like the sound. I love Prospect Park. Amazing. Trusted technology provider. Maybe that's what. Thanks for the update. Appreciate that update. Oracle confirms deal with TikTok to become trusted technology provider. Thank you, Rantan. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Go back and look at the beginning of the stream. We look at the S&P 500 first. Just pull back and look at the S&P 500. Roman, thanks for being here. Giles, always, thank you for your presence, your support. Jane, that's all amazing. Thank you, JRL. David, thank you, Nick. David, thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're going to keep that flow going the rest of the week, Jane. Maybe the waves will be coming in and we'll get super hyper excited about it. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, everyone. And I'll talk to you later this afternoon as we get into our afternoon update.